Building permit delays causing havoc. A floor report from the Work Truck Show and the jobless and unemployed problem outlined. That and more on Construction News Tracker presented by Caterpillar. Having trouble obtaining building permits? You're not alone. The National Association of Home Builders reports the time frame for permit issuance has nearly doubled, from 4 months average turnaround in 2011 to nearly 7 months in 2015. And it's not a progressive sign for developers. With nearly 1 million apartments awaiting development in the next 3 years, the permit backlog is creating a large inventory shortage and contributing to the reduction in workers needed to help much-needed construction. 19,000 construction jobs added to payrolls in February, putting the number of unemployed at its lowest level in 16 years. Construction employment is robust at this time, according to AGC, though there's roughly 749,000 that remain unemployed. And that prompts our next story, the labor force participation rate. It's an analytic barometer used by economists. Construction's not the only major industry facing substantial problems in finding workers. The U.S. Department of Labor reports that 66% of those able to work had jobs on the eve of the recession. Last fall, that rate fell to 62.4%, and a sign joblessness may be in worse shape than unemployment numbers outline. However, robust economic growth is pressing a powerful force on the business cycle, causing more jobs to open up and the unemployment rate to stay at or below 5%. As a result, the agency reports that as of February, 77.8% of those in their prime working years of 25 to 54 had jobs, while a meager 6.3% of the 94 million unemployed were actively looking. One of the major factors appears to be the aging workforce facing retirement and few baby boomers in line to take over those jobs. The National Truck Equipment Association held its annual Work Truck Show recently, and our senior field editor of Equipment Today, Kurt Bennick, has the latest from the show floor.
Hi, this is Kurt Bennick, reporting from the floor of the 2016 Work Truck Show. Ford started off the NTA show with big news on their Super Duty chassis cabs. They are expanding the traditional Super Duty aluminum body, the military grade Super Body that was introduced for their 2017 is now going to be on their chassis cabs, but they're using that weight savings to reinvest into their chassis.
The lightweighting I talked about before, we've been able to reinvest that in more capability. We have up to 350-pound weight save, including the amount of weight that we reinvested in frames and axles and other things.
Yeah, Mack Trucks has introduced a new emissions after-treatment system that instead of the traditional two-component system, this ClearTech One system combines both components into one. And what that does is it saves about 17 pounds, but more importantly, it saves it only takes up 11 inches of frame space. And by saving that frame space, it makes it a lot more upfitter friendly. Then Mack also introduced or expanded on its M-Drive HD line. Before, the applications were limited because they did not have a reduction drive. Now, Mack offers, in addition to the traditional 12-speed transmission, they have a 13-speed and a 14. And the extra speed and 2 speeds is actually for gear reduction.
Now we can go down to about a 32-to-1 ratio. So doing things in slow speed, like curb pouring, is well within the reach now of the M-Drive HD 13 and 14 speed, and still be able to run at very efficient highway RPMs and highway speeds.
Navistar has announced that they're going to offer a Cummins 9-liter solution for their Durastar pickups.
What could become a massive nationwide construction effort is being played out right now in Flint, Michigan. Lead poisoning in water service lines has created multiple lawsuits in that city and others as well. Corrosive water has created lead soldering to a road, which raises the lead level in the water source, resulting in severe health issues. Fitch Rating Service has outlined the breadth of this issue, citing the nation's aging water infrastructure, and arrived at a total U.S. cost of $300 billion. The worsening situation resulting in 150 of the nation's mayors calling for action by the federal government to address crumbling infrastructure. Premature demolition appears to be the best way to describe a near-fatal project recently near Houston, Texas. The Cherry companies contracted to demolish a 5-story parking structure when suddenly the near wall began to collapse as 2 excavators were working on the site. Massive falling debris miraculously missed both machine operators, who managed to walk away with only cuts and bruises. Cherry is the same firm, by the way, that demolished the former Astrodome columns and ramps without any incident. Why the parking garage wall came apart as it did, well, it's a mystery at this point. In closing, there are no traffic jams when you go the extra mile. This is Construction News Tracker, looking over the industry that makes the world a better place, presented by Caterpillar and produced by 4constructionpros.com. Look for us on Facebook at /4constructionpros, Twitter using hashtag Construction News, and YouTube for Construction Pros, as the streaming web never ends.